You can't write the songs, sing the songs, produce the songs, help design the outfits, help design the stage set, make sure, sign every check that every stagehand gets. You know, somebody has to, it takes people doing that. I don't play violin, I don't know what to tell a string player to do or a cello player to do. That's why Nat's there. You know what I'm saying? Nat does that. I play the piano until he comes in the room, and then I jump up off the bench and tell him what I was trying to do. You know, and in that way, you involve yourself with a lot of people. And I was lucky enough to surround myself with people who were honest enough to not rip me off.
So tell us, because we do keep referring to Nat, tell us a little bit about the relationship there and how it blossomed, because he's done a lot of the reworking of some of your songs.
All of it. All of it.
That's right, that's right.
Let me tell you where we met first, and then you can explain it. Nat was 13, I was 16, and we were both in that group, Listen My Brother. Nat Adderley Jr., as you know, his father is Nat Adderley Sr., and his uncle is Cannonball Adderley. And there was a workshop for talented kids in the New York area that the Apollo Theater put together. And that's where we met. We were the first children, we were the first singing group on Sesame Street, the very first show. It came out the first year in 1969, yeah. And that's where we met. If you saw us now, you see Nat had a big old afro.
Big afro.
Like the Silvers, remember the Silvers? And over the years, we would always like write something and just play with it. We didn't even have an idea that you were supposed to pursue a record deal or anything like that. When we did Never Too Much, we went in the studio and everybody did everything for free. And so when it got to House Is Not a Home, that's when Nat and I just sat down and huddled. But Nat knew how to put the different spin on it, you know, and change the chords so that it was unique. And basically all the covers that I have done over the years, along with my own singing, equally as important is what Nat does to the music to make it sound so unique. You know, I did an album called Songs, which was all covers, thanks, but that Songs album was not a House Is Not a Home and Superstar and If Only for One Night and Anyone Who Had a Heart. And that's because Nat was not involved in that album. You see, so, and this is something you learn in retrospect, you know, about how and what it is that brings it to where it's supposed to be. So, Nat Adderley Jr.
Hey, all right.
So can you talk just for a little bit, Nat, about what you do and how you get the inspiration to rework the songs and to write the songs and how it's created from you?
That's a good one.
Well, thank you.
Well, we start with an idea, I guess, to choose the song because of the lyric or the emotional content. I mean, that's the beginning of it. And then, well, I don't know. We managed to take a song, it's both of us, we managed to take a song and go real far away from the original. I mean, nobody had ever done that. I hear that a little bit more these days, but I swear we started that thing as far as taking an original song. First of all, folks weren't doing covers at that time. The original Superstar, I don't know if I remember the...
Well, the original Superstar was a bubblegum. It was bubblegum.
Yeah, but I don't even remember, Baby, yeah.
You know, by the Carpenters, I mean, and I loved it, you know, but in it, we saw something. We said, wait a minute, this is not just some bubblegum song. This is a dramatic, heart-wrenching storyline going on here.
And that's partly how we choose the songs, as opposed to the Songs record, which kind of stayed more to the original. We do choose something not only because we enjoy the lyrics and the emotional content, but because we see a way to take it far away from the original and make it something really brand new. It just kept working out. I mean, I can't say more than that. I mean, change the chords. If the chord is this, I go somewhere else, and we end up with something that's so different than the original. And yeah, it just keeps working.
But still recognizable.
Well, the melody is there.
Yeah,
sometimes
like the melody's there. You know?
Yeah, we'll change the melody too, though.
Hello.
You know, in a minute. What is that? I can't remember anything now. Oh, I can't even remember it, but we actually changed the melody, and we do it all the time. So, But as long as you recognize it at all, we feel like it's okay.
Right.
So, I think one of the things is the relationship adds to the staying power. I mean, you've maintained your career for so long. We see so many groups come and they have like this, you know, great album, and then you never really hear from them again. So how have you changed, like from when you first started? How have you continued to change and stay up to date, but still stay Luther, and still come out with these double platinum albums and the gold albums and so forth?
I think things just evolve. You mean in terms of how we work together?
Work together and solo. I mean, you and then Nat, how he does his thing.
Well, I mean, we've known each other since Nat's oldest daughter, Keena, was a baby girl that when she was this size, I used to hold her, and this girl would holler. She just didn't want me to hold her. She wanted me, you know, and you know, of course, Keena is somebody, you know, who's been in our lives since she was born. Keena next week is graduating from Yale University.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We're going to bring her on stage in Westbury because Nat is also a Yale graduate. And so now his daughter's a second generation Yale graduate, which is just fantastic, you know, it's phenomenal. But we stayed together on that level. You know, Nat knows my mother, you know, I know his parents. We've gone to barbecues, and I think that connects the music, you know. I mean, just 1/10 of a little idea might happen at that barbecue that might turn into something a year and a half later that we remember that we did. I think the love of it all, you gotta love it. You gotta be in it for the right reason, you know. You can't just like the way it looks on somebody else and therefore want it for yourself. You have to be in it for the sake of the music. When I was a kid of 13, when I was at the Brooklyn Fox Theater, Murray DeKay was the DJ, and there were all these groups. You know, the Drifters were on the show. Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells were on the show. Music was a very melting pot thing. You know, the top 10 was Aretha, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Temptations. You know, so it was more like that then. And so the show was the same. And onto the stage walks this person that I had never heard of before. Never heard of or never heard before, and all of a sudden she starts singing, anyone who ever loved could look at me and know that I love you. And I'm telling you, that moment in time, you know, now, you know, that I was 13 then, I'm 29 now, and that moment.
I was going to say, I don't think all that is necessary.
It wasn't that funny. Turn this chick. Yeah, there you go, right. But at that moment in time, a lot of people can't remember the pivotal moment in their lives that maybe determined where they go. That moment in time determined everything I wanted from that point on was to be an artist. That's what I wanted. That's what she did to me, and I credit her to that day. From that day to this day for that. Yeah,
Now, is there ever a day that you wake up and you're like, you know what? I mean, I know it's your passion, and do you ever wake up and say, you know, I really don't want to do this today. Today is not a good day for me. I don't really want to do it. Or does it run that deep in you that no matter what, it'll get you out of bed? Okay. Is there more than one day that you wake up?
Listen, there are those days. Okay, so you go into the studio and you just sing your heart out, and they just got to change the mic 3 times because you just blow it out, and you just do it to death. And then you turn it into the company, and they say, sounds good, but we want you to re-sing the first 2 verses. So then the next morning, you got to get up and go re-sing the first 2 verses. That's one of those mornings. But all in all, you know, it's really, it's when you choose it, I'm sure Michael Jordan didn't feel like playing every time he had a game.
Right.
But something kicks in. Something has to kick in. I'm sure Picasso may not have started off with, no, not just the money. but you know, like Matisse may have started a painting that he wasn't as inspired about with the first stroke as he was with the 15th or 20th or 3,000th, you know. And so yeah, there are some days, for me though, the times when I'm most not in the mood to do it is when I'm not prepared. If I'm fatigued, I'm not, you know, if I'm tired and can't give what I want to give, then it's harder for me to approach it. You know, if my mother, if the last time I talked to my mother, I didn't like that she didn't sound as strong as she did the last time I talked to her, that will affect whether or not I really feel like, you know, going out or doing whatever the day demands. So there are a lot, you know, just like with anybody else, you know, the variables in your life get affected. The music gets affected by the variables in your life, you know. When Nat wants a raise, you know, I get so depressed. Can't send a note.
Nat gets depressed too, y'all.
And when was that I had a raise? Oh no, I hate music sometimes, you know. But some days or whatever, the business or whatever, you know. But I'll tell you, there's nothing like a deadline. Nothing like knowing the company is expecting it next Tuesday. I'm motivated a lot by that. I love music. I love the business I'm in, but I don't know what I'd ever get done without that deadline.
And he's telling the truth, because the most beautiful string things, like there have been like 40, yes you did, there have been like 40 string players in the room. And the chart comes, but what's supposed to be a 7-page chart is a 4-page chart. And here comes Nat running into the room with a Wendy's bag torn open, right? And I go over to the piano. I know that's not the rest of the arrangement you write now with all these people. He said, would you just go away? Just leave me alone.
We'll be done in 3 hours.
Yeah, he definitely, and it always comes out. He's a definite rise to the occasion type of, you know, he gets there is no, what do you call it? It is not an exact science. There is no one way that it happens, you know.
Now, I know you all talk a lot about professionalism, and that's one thing that whenever you talk about Luther, you hear what a perfectionist you are, first of all, and also what a professional you are. And I've heard from some of your camp that you almost run your thing like a military camp. I mean, it has to happen when it's supposed to happen. So talk a little bit about that and how you run your business and how you make sure that everybody is professional and you come across as professional.
Anyone who ever dreamed could look at me and know I dream of you, knowing I love you so. Anyone who had a heart would take me in her arms and love me too. You wouldn't really have a heart and hurt me like you hurt me and be so untrue. What am I to do?
I know all the ladies out there are willing to pay for my chair right about now. I'm not giving it up. Not giving it up.
Thanks. You apologize.
See.
My fiance birthday. She hid somewhere.
Somewhere.
She's hiding back there.
Okay.
She wants you to sing happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday, sweetie. Maybe we're working a little song.
You know, happy birthday's a hard song.
Yeah.
You guys say happy birthday, just you can go over there and hug her.
Okay, we got a whole line of people, honey, so you just step on the other side.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, sweetie. What's the next question? Let's keep this moving because we don't have much time with Luther.
How you doing? My name is Brian Funches.
Hello, Brian.
And I always, as a young child, when I was in high school, always admired you. I've always wanted to sing like Luther. And unfortunately, I have a deep baritone voice. And what do you give advice for a person who really don't know exactly where his voice is? You know, my voice is always like more referred to as like Paul Robeson. And I can do opera, you know, and I want to do R&B, I always want to sing like you, and I always want to sing like you. So what the main question I'm asking, what do you know as far as how do you know what you want as far as your voice, and what is it R&B or is it Broadway? Is it right?
Well, first of all, you've got to drop that "unfortunately I'm a baritone" thing, because listen, as high as Patti LaBelle sings, Gladys Knight ain't worried about it, and she's an alto and she doesn't sing that high, and she does what she does and Patti does what she does, and they are both 100% valuable. You know, my bit of advice to you is to drop the apologies and all of that about what your talent is, and find out what it is that your talent does well. You shouldn't want to be like me, because you're you, I'm me. You know, and your talent is valuable and can touch somebody. You know, who's to say that your talent couldn't touch 10 times the people that mine does? There's nobody to say that. You have to love what you have. That's your gift. You can't apologize for your gift. This is my gift. That's your gift.
I feel you, brother. I went from singing Eddie Kendricks to Barry White, so I feel you.
He is. But we love him anyway.
I will try to be brief. My name is Robert Tony. I just want to say thank you. I think Take You Out is a wonderful transition to 2001. I was proud.
Absolutely.
Quick question, technical, you hit on it a little bit. How do you maintain your voice over the years? Because I've noticed since singing since 9 that there are days when, yeah, you can blow, and days it's like, okay, I gotta warm up for 3 hours before I sing. How do you do the daily maintenance, or what tips do you have?
Experience has taught me what the things are that affect it. I know that the air conditioner is the worst thing in the world for my voice. In the world. I went to sing Magic Johnson. Remember when we did Magic Johnson's birthday party?
Yeah.
Because we were surprising Magic at his birthday party, and I wanted to do it. I was dying to do it. I'm fine. We do our sound check. Everything is fine. Right above the stage, about where this light is the air conditioning vent. And I started out singing, you know, woke up today, looked at. By the end of the first song, I was like, oh my God. And I could barely get out a sound because of that air conditioner. So I know that I don't drink ice water before I have to sing. I don't, needless to say, you know, you can't smoke and want to have a voice that sounds like anything, you know. And you just have to you sort of have to treat your voice like you treat your child. Something that has to be nurtured and raised and attended to at all times, you know.
Thank you for nurturing it.
Thank you.
Hi, Luther. My name is Lisa. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, Luther. I was listening to you, and like you said, when I was a child, I used to see my mother in church, and all these people used to pass out, and you know, she'd cry and everything. I didn't understand that. And from a child, then I wanted to be a singer. I remember hearing Superstar from the first. People always told me my voice is loud and it's strong. You know, like, you know, calm me down. I'm like, no, but that's how I sing. That's where I am. And I remember hearing Superstar from you. I remember hearing the keynotes, the piano. And I always wanted to learn how to sing soft because I always sung hard. And when I heard the piano and your voice, I mean, I was like, God, that's what it is. And I know why you stay in the business so long. You and Whitney, you guys sing from your soul. It's not, you know, it's not, can you pay my bills? And those little, you know, they're cute and everything. And, you know, I figure maybe 5 years of that longevity. But you guys have been in this for years, and you pick songs that come from the soul.
It all comes. Whitney grew up in a house with her mother, Sissy Houston, one of the greatest sopranos ever. I remember we have a mutual friend. Whitney and I have a mutual friend named Yvonne Lewis. And Yvonne was getting married to George, right? And we were sitting at the wedding, at the reception after the wedding, and we're just talking and stuff, and the waiter walks by. Now, I was really big at the time, and the waiter walks by, and I said, see, that's the size I want to be, right? And she said, why? I said, well, you know, I mean, look, he's got a 34 waist, you know, he's about my height, that's the size I want to be. She said, but Luther, he can't sing. I said, yeah, but look how his jacket falls and it just fits right and everything. She said, but Luther, he can't sing. That's it comes from the soul.
But see, now you have the 34-inch waist and you can still sing.
Hello.
Hey! Hey!
Good morning.
And another thing, I always, when I saw you in Milwaukee with In Vogue and you, I mean, I just died. I said, my dream, my God, want to do backup vocals with Luther. Luther, I mean, come on, do you need me backup vocals? I mean, I'm like trying to be, you know, you Roberta Flack, and you know, I'm Luther right now. I'm trying, but I want you to, can you hear and see what, you know, after, you know, the young lady that you said you'll listen to, whatever, her group, after me, I mean, after them.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see what time allows.
Okay. Oh, God.
We'll try.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sparkle.
Sparkle?
Yeah.
We got a Sparkle in Chicago.
But that's on my birthday.
Oh. Okay, it is not on hers. Good point. Good point.
How do you market your talent? Because everybody cannot work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? As a singer, how do you get yourself out there?
Now, when you say market, define how you mean market.
As far as approaching producers, labels.
Do you have to market yourself anymore?
Well, in terms of, yeah.
You do? They don't just come to you anymore? You
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, they do submit things. We put it out there. Well, for the past 20 years, for the first albums, all those first 14 albums, we were self-contained. We wrote it and produced it and did it all. As a matter of fact, it evolved. You know, whereas